Hello SGD, Sacred Geometry Decoded, and while I'm working on Omphalos, Betel and Ben stones, and I've got like hundreds of tabs open, but let's have a look at an interesting set of connections. And so, firstly, this is Arimaneus, which is a Mithraic god, and it was placed in the church tower at St. Peter's at Gouts in Lincoln in England. And now the London Mithraism, again across this ancient world of ours, which carries through to the modern time. But so this is the tarot card, the hierophant. Now there's a lot of interesting links in here, so let's just call it papal occultism. Put some ominous music and very compelling, and use a lot of suggestive words. But let's look at Athanasius Kircher. He's a very important polymath and a Jesuit. Now, here are some of the images from some of his works. And, well, there's quite a bit going on here, and there's quite a bit of interest. But now, what does this have to do with papal insignia? Now, the famous papal hats, such as this one, or Saturn hat, and this, the triple crown, the double finger sign, and the silver and the gold keys, the papal symbol with the triple crown, 1, 2, 3. Now this is very ancient, very important symbol connecting, many interesting things. And so, firstly, famous from the Bible, Jesus gave Peter the keys to the kingdom, and the silver and the gold key. It's like the papal symbol, the silver and the gold key, and the triple crown. Now, how does this connect to ancient mystery schools? Well, it does. So here we see these. Now, I also could use magician, the tarot. This was from, anyway, still worthwhile. Okay, the caduceus of Hermes. The wings and Hermes, Mercury, but also to the triple crown, or the hierophant, as it's in tarot. How does that connect? Well, firstly, let's the famous Saturn hat. So I've just photoshopped it there, so we can see again this picture of Kircher, where Mercury, or the magician, alchemy symbols. Now that monad as well. I couldn't find the cards, but John D. Kircher, this monad, very important symbol, and linked to very important people in this transmission of this secret knowledge that's just embedded in plain sight. But so the caduceus, the Saturn hat, the magician, the hierophant, what has this all got to do with papal tradition? Well, okay, so that's why I've got the Saturn hat on there. Firstly, there we see this image. Now we just see it in closer up. Now, notice the antlers there. Now, Artemis, the twin of Apollo, the sun god. She's the moon goddess. She's also the goddess of the hunt, famous for her hounds and the deer, and the bow, silver bow, as opposed to Apollo, the golden bow and the golden arrow. She has the silver arrow, the moon goddess. These ancient traditions. Now, so what we have there is a depiction of Artemis, and we'll see closer because it will allude to other things. But the triple crown, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, just like the hierophant or the Pope with the triple crown. Back to Kircher's picture. Now this is a alchemical, hermetic, lots of stuff going on there. Cornucopia, acanthus, there's all pendulums, all measuring tools. It's a compass there. The 7 symbols of the 7 planets, but also the 7 important elements of alchemy or chemistry. The columba, the dove with the olive branch in there, but here we have the keys, and we have the triple crown, which links to this, okay, the papal symbol, the triple crown, the silver and the gold key. And there we see on the hierophant card, the gold and the silver key. Now, alchemy, alchemical wedding, but also we focus on, well, this cross staff it's a tool of navigation, survey of other things as well. We also see the hierophant or the Pope holding it in the tarot cards. The triple crown of the Pope, again, triple crown. That also being depicted in this illustration by Kircher in Mundi Subterranea, which is triple crown there. Now you notice we have 3 figures there in the background. bit of a beehive cave, especially connected to Vulcan. We have the Cyclops, the three helpers, one-eyed helpers of Cyclops. 7 symbols of the astronomy. Well, okay, now the papal hand sign, the 2 fingers, the hand of benediction. Now, Tarot and Kersha can be, well, Hermes. Now, again, I mentioned Apollo, the sun god. There's the sun god with the laurel crown in the background. There's Artemis, the moon goddess, which even features the deer there, which again is this key important symbol of silver, Artemis, the moon, by the light of the silvery moon. Temple of Artemis, that's a replica. Now, the original was destroyed. This is a replica in Turkey. It was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. And the rite of Ephesus. Paul went to Ephesus, challenged the established order there. Artemis, the temple of Ephesus. Great is Artemis of the Ephesians. There was a rite there. Now, Paul is an important feature because back to the hand of benediction. Hierophant, magician. Now, alchemical symbols. This is Stefan Mikkelsbacher. What you have, okay, this, well, the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Mercury, Apollo, Artemis, Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, also in there. But what do we have? We have the king, or the moon, Artemis, and the king, gold, Apollo, the sun and the moon, silver and gold. What's he got underneath there? The triple crown, 3 crowns. Also in this depiction, again, now notice as well the zodiac symbols. So we have 3, so there's 9, but then we have Sagittarius, Taurus, and Leo. So we have the 12 symbols. Sulfur, salt, and mercury, very alchemical. But what's the dragon? Dragon's wearing the triple crown. Triple crown, hierophant. The Eleusian Mysteries, this ancient mystery school. The chief priest of the Eleusian Mysteries was a hierophant. Now notice as well, Phallus. But in the Eleusian Mysteries, the hierophant, here we see her here receiving the Demeter, wheat being an important part of the ritual. Here she receives the wheat. The hierophant, hand of benediction. Hand of benediction. The preacher's hand, as well as it's called. Which brings us back to these earlier things. Now, Artemis. Here are some statues of Artemis. Notice the, or sometimes referred to as the Orphic eggs. But she here is wearing a triple crown. This alternative one, what do we have? Cancer, the twins, Taurus. We have a zodiac around her neck as well. And just to keep in mind, the ceremony of wheat with Demeter or Ceres, where we get the word cereal from, key part of the Eleusian Mystery, and triple crown as well. Now, this is from the grotto of St. Paul above Ephesus, Temple of Ephesus, Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, St. Paul at right at Ephesus. Well, what's happening is this is in the grotto. Now, there was also a female companion of his and the hand of benediction, and she's been chiseled out, but we still see at the grotto and hand of benediction, Ephesian mysteries, Mithraic mysteries, and these connections between them. For instance, Mithras, what you'll always find is the sun, Apollo, and the moon. What do we have? The hand of benediction, or the hand of Zabasius. Eleusian mysteries, Mithraic mysteries. This is just carried on through, and the triple crown. Now, in a random world, what can you say? So it's still there. I mentioned, okay, and what's on the chest of the famous polymath scholar Jesuit Kersha? He's put the Eleusian Mysteries in there as well. So what we have is not just back in the 1600s, it actually goes back thousands of years. And we have the same themes: astronomy, geometry, arithmetic, the Hermeticism, acanthus, cornucopia, weights and measure systems, the dove, Columba, with the olive branch, which is linked to Noah, but also the flood, as talked about in the Epic of Gilgamesh. Alchemical symbols, the keys of silver and gold, sun and moon, triple crown, Caduceus, Apollo, Artemis, the moon goddess, as well, so alluding to the metallurgy of Vulcan with the beehive cave and the three cyclops who were his assistants, weights and measures, geometry, and that's what's, yeah, it's still going on, and it's never quite left, and it's embedded in plain sight, and it links these ancient mystery schools, these ancient sciences as well, especially through, yeah, alchemical period. So what is, modern religious symbols, which are meant to be non-pagan, are actually just they're embedded in it. They're neck deep. They're struggling to keep their nose above it, and it's a big thing. Okay, Eleusian Mysteries, Mithraism, phallus, all the same symbols, all the same keys, really are repeated and in plain sight. Have a good one.